Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Ouch, my face hurts. Let's cover up that pain, shall we? AKA weekly wear, AKA oily skin foundation review. Woo woo, plus concealer this time. I had a hankering to test out something from ULTA Beauty. I don't know what, I just really have. I want to try more from ULTA's house brand. That's about how far my reasoning went there. I also feel like I've heard decent things about this foundation. This is their Demi-Matte foundation with an SPF of 20 in it. It's oil-free, fragrance-free, and paraben-free. I had to go in and change which shade I got because the one that I ordered that was darker than this, that they said should have matched me, I disagree. At least I disagreed when I saw it in person, but either way, I guess here we're getting into it. This is $14 and it does have decent reviews online. It apparently... How dare you interrupt my filming?
But I'm here.
Oh, how dare you. Excuse me if the camera angle changed. My mom came to bother me. She's early. This isn't my fault.
Is that an invitation?
No.
Hello.
Look at the lovely haircut. Yeah, so nice.
You like.
Oh, and you did the fancy curls today.
I did.
Looks good.
Yeah. Now we both have curls.
I was gonna say, oh god, we look very alike.
I know.
Now that your hair's cut again.
I kind of thought that too. You walked up to me.
So this Demi-Matte foundation, it says it only has 7 shades online. I feel like when I was in store looking for a different shade to exchange for the one that I had originally purchased, I feel like there were more bottles of it, but I could be wrong. I ended up getting Classic Ivory, which is their lightest shade, which doesn't speak well to the shade range either. It looks atrocious, at least online, but like I said, I could have sworn there were more deeper shades, like not a ton, but more than just the one that they're showing online. They say that this is a luxurious and lightweight cream gel formula that absorbs oil and prevents shine. We will put that to the test. It's got light diffusing pigments to help diminish the appearance of lines and wrinkles, plus it has an SPF of 20. It's got buildable coverage, gonna blend easy, and provide a semi-matte finish. Weird that they wouldn't say a demi-matte finish, since this is a Demi-Matte foundation. Ooh, it's also vegan friendly. Cool, it's got chamomile in it and a bunch of other stuff that are probably supposed to be good for our skin. Woohoo! And they don't have a how to use section, so I'm gonna assume we use it like a normal foundation. But before that, we have also got this concealer here. This is the full coverage liquid concealer. I ended up grabbing Fair Neutral. This is $9. It's got 16 different shades available, which this looks like the shade range that I remember seeing for both the concealer and the foundation when I went in to exchange these. So, I mean, it's still not the best, but it's better than the, what, 7 or whatever shades that they had in the foundation online here. But they say this is going to be lightweight, creamy, and super blendable that will offer full coverage, thank goodness, and have a flawless matte finish. It's also apparently got special ingredients known to promote healing. Hey! Again, thank goodness. Say it's going to wear beautifully, it won't cake or crease, and offers long-lasting wear. And this is also vegan friendly, so again, very nice. And the how to use, they actually have a how to use. It just says to apply directly on the area with the wand applicator or with the fingers. Cool, easy enough. So let's get on into this. All right, so here is my skin. As you can see close up, we've got some definite things that I would like to cover today. So concealer ahoy. I don't know why I felt the need to sniff. I feel like I always do, and it is what it is. So let's go ahead and start applying directly to the area, as they said. I know a lot of people always get very upset with me saying this is spreading bacteria because I'm putting it on open wounds. These are actually not open wounds, otherwise the concealer wouldn't stick to them because they would be wet and oozing. So they are all scabbed over. I don't know, it's one of those things, if that's something you believe, you are allowed to believe it. I just personally think that I am fine doing this the way that I am doing these. But here we go, let's see. This concealer shade, it was a bit too light for me, but the other one was definitely too dark for me. And I know a lot of people say you're supposed to go darker with your concealer rather than lighter. Again, I disagree, mainly because I guess I put my concealer on first, but also, like, why would I want to add more dark spots to my skin? At least if I go lighter like this, then when I put foundation on top, I don't think it highlights my blemishes, but if I used a shade that was way too deep, that would, like I said, it would just create like false dark spots. But again, it's whatever you want to believe, whatever you want. I also don't think I mentioned my face has been washed and moisturized as per usual. There we go. I don't know that I would say that that was necessarily a full coverage concealer, but it did some concealing for sure. Now for foundation. It is a squeezy tube pump type thing, which I actually like this kind of a packaging. There's the word. Let's see. Good pump, it works. And you can see it is definitely a thicker formula, like a moussey formula. Let's see, I did not use all of that. I know that was a little excessive, but I'll try it with the brush first, see how this applies. Decent with a brush, not too bad. I'm curious. I don't know that this is gonna apply great with a sponge, but we will be giving it a shot. I actually don't hate it the way that it applied with a sponge. I mean, I certainly with this first layer here was not able to get any kind of full coverage with the foundation, so I am going to attempt to layer this here. I don't know if I like it better with the sponge or the brush, honestly. It just kind of looks like I've got foundation on at this point. Alright, and there you go. So I think I was able to get it to build a little bit. Like I said, I'm not loving the way this looks on my skin. It looks fine, but it looks like a drugstore foundation type of thing. I don't think I was able to get full coverage, but I was certainly able to get some coverage. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it from me for now. So I'm gonna get on with my day here. I am going thrifting with my mom, which I'm excited about, and I will be checking in with you all periodically so that we can see how this is doing. And overall, I will just see you all at the very end of the night. So I'll see you in just a second here on YouTube land. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of I Am the Worst. I'm so sorry. I realized after like a couple hours of being out and about thrifting and whatnot that I totally forgot to film my foundation initially after I applied it to do my side-by-side facial thing. So I'm sorry, I can't give you a comparison. It's not looking great, the foundation and concealer on my face, and I just figure it's not worth keeping on for the rest of the night. I mean, it's been 6.5 hours. I just got home here, but it's pretty much completely gone from the tip of my nose. It's also pretty much completely gone off my chin. It's looking a little cakey around my mouth. Just overall, it's not looking the greatest, but that being said, it has stayed pretty lightweight throughout the day, so I'm curious to keep testing it with a primer, see if it does any better, see if it hangs in better. But overall, I'm just kind of feeling about this one. For these products, they feel almost, at least when I was putting them on, they felt a little silicone-y to me, like thinking back on it, but we'll see with further testing. I'm excited, as always, to do so with you guys, and I will see you all in a couple days here, aka in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello everyone, welcome to my final check-in where I am hoping I can get through this. I totally can. I'm having a gallstone attack at the moment, and I feel like I'm dying slowly, painfully, and surely. Oh, how great. So I need to take this off, this makeup, because I'm about to suffer and do a lot of laying around in the fetal position and just not wanting to have makeup on my face, basically. And I think I've just tested this enough where I just know I don't like either of these products. So unfortunately, sorry for the spoiler, but if you want to stick around and see why I feel that way, then I invite you to do so. We'll have a jolly good time, right? We shall. So on day 2 two, I went ahead like usual and used my Smashbox primer. I did start off this time with the concealer first, like I usually do as well, and then went ahead and used a brush to stipple on the foundation on top of that, as well as using a very light dabbing of a very not super wet sponge, so that I just was hoping it would make a good finish on my face altogether. But well, I was wrong. I could not get good coverage with the foundation going on top of that concealer, so I had to do a second layer of concealer on top of that. You know, it looked fine. It didn't look great though, not my favorite, that's for darn sure. And I started feeling oily at around the 3.5 hour mark, which is really not good, especially since I was just kicking around the apartment here filming and editing and stuff. But I was feeling super oily and it looked super oily, and I was already seeing finger marks and like transfer onto my fingers if I would just very lightly touch my face or something. And so I went ahead and I blotted my face, and there was so much oil on those blotting papers. After 3.5 hours, that was really bad. And then once again, I was greasy around the 8-hour mark. I didn't get home until around the 10-hour mark though, so that's why you're seeing 10 hours on the screen. But I was definitely seeing the transferring onto fingers again, and you could also see fingerprints on my forehead. It's the type of foundation that if you touch your face even slightly, the transfer of it leaves a mark. Just very not good overall, not a good fade, settled into the pores, yuck. So I went ahead today on day 3 here and I used my Guerlain primer. I just did foundation first on top of that with a brush, and then I went ahead and used concealer on top of that so that I didn't have to use tons and tons of layers of things, just to see how that differed. It looked, again, fine, not great, but it looked fine. And here at the quote-unquote end of the night, it hasn't been like a super long day. It's been 6 hours. I've been doing a lot of chores, you know, laundry, vacuuming, sweeping, dusting, all that sort of stuff, and a bunch of filming. And it's oily, it's greasy. I just went and blew my nose, and there's like foundation all over the Kleenex, even though I am super careful when I blow my nose and have foundation on to not push really hard on my nostrils so that I don't get that kind of transfer. However, it happened anyways, and here we are. I just hate the look of this foundation. It has majorly settled into my nose pores. It looks kind of dry in some places, and just overall, I just don't like it. So that is where we will get into the pros and cons. I'm sure you're thinking, Cassie, are there any pros after all of that whining you just did? It wasn't whining, it was just a statement of facts that weren't positive. Yeah? Okay, well, either way, the one pro, I do have one pro for this product. I mean, the concealer, I'm really only doing pros and cons for the foundation. The concealer, it's just fine. It's not a full coverage concealer to me. It's got that silicone kind of slip to it, and I just didn't really care for it. The foundation, I even more so didn't care for, but like I said, I do have one pro for it. It is very lightweight, even when I do get oily. It stays lightweight, so great, Ulta. Thanks for that. But that is where we get on into the cons. The first one being the shade range is atrocious if you ask me, going based on how it looked online. Another con is that I find that this does not build or layer well or really cover much of anything. So if you have any types of dark pigmentation on your skin, this ain't gonna do it for you. It also looks like foundation on the skin. I don't think it's a flattering finish. I just don't think it looks good at all. It looks pretty cheap. And then throughout the day, it transfers onto your fingers with just the slightest amount of touch, whether you're oily, sweaty, whatever. If you're just human, it will transfer. At least that's the feeling that I get. It also doesn't fade gracefully, be it from that transfer or just from normal wear off. I think it looks really patchy and just not good. And it also settles into my nose pores and just larger pores in general. I just straight up don't like it. Darn it. So that's it. I'm ready to take it off of my face. I hope this review was helpful for you guys in seeing how this foundation and concealer wear on me, on my oily skin. Because like I said, I feel like this stuff does get some hype. and especially, you know, the reviews online. I'm like, what am I missing? I don't know, but I sure did give it my bestest shot. So let me know in the comments down below if you have tried this foundation. What did you think about it? How did it do for you? What kind of skin do you have? All that good stuff. I love cooking up a nice casserole of comments down there with you all. You can also let me know what foundations you want me to test on this weekly wear series here. And you can also let me know if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful by giving me a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. You can become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!